names?
Iran and Anne-Marie.
Iran
And Anne-Marie. Yep. There you go.
Hi, Iran and Anne-Marie. I'm Lisa. I'm starting to do a walkthrough with your house without you here. And we're starting in the girls' bedroom, which is a little random spot, but I want to just talk about when you're listing your house. Obviously, people have kids, but I think one of the fears subconsciously for people is in smaller houses not having enough storage space or feeling confined. So for this room, I felt like let's just start here because there are some things I feel like you could take out of this room that would open it up a little bit and that maybe the girls wouldn't miss too much. I know you're on a little bit of a tight schedule, so I'll try to just say, Pete tells me always to say everything, but if you can't do it, you can't do it. But I don't think that this would be too awful hard. I'd like to actually have you try rearranging this room so that both the girls' beds came off of this wall. If you can see that. Can you see it, Riley?
Yep.
Okay. So if you had both the heads of the bed coming right here with perhaps the bookcase between them, this one darker one, but remove the pink bookcase.
Both of them? She's got the two.
Remove both of the pink bookcases, yep. So you would have bed, brown wood bookcase, bed. I think you probably should take down the cute leaf just because it's a little bit imposing visually. And then if you want to put, a piece of art over each bed or something, even if it's just these black and whites, that would be, it's okay to have black and white pictures or a few pictures here and there, but limit it. So for this room, I would remove everything that isn't artwork, like the little Hawaiian letters.
What about the wall stickers?
The wall stickers are fine.
Okay.
So actually what might be a better choice is just for over each girl's bed just to have their Hawaiian names.
Okay, and no picture.
And no pictures there, but you could put the pictures over on this wall or this wall. It's flexible.
Okay.
Okay, but then the other thing that'll be in this room that needs to move is this white bookcase, which should come from here over to this wall where you first walk in to your right.
Okay.
So that you would be able to then have a little bit, hopefully more clearance to get in here where you're not walking into this cabinet. There would be a little bit more directional pathway so that you would be able to get to the closet around the beds back here.
And for the pictures, sorry, Lisa, on the wall, you're talking just the black and whites, maybe on this wall or that wall. Just the black and whites.
I'm saying let's just leave the two black and whites over here, the girls' names over the beds. And maybe we could use this, instead of hanging here, we could hang this from the ceiling over the white dresser so that you have a focal point.
Got it.
So the problem for pictures is that where you're standing right now is where the photographer is going to take the picture. And most of our stuff to look at is actually over here with the beds. So you do want to pay attention to making this wall cute.
Something, okay.
So, we have other artwork here. So you can play around with things, but this is a very small area that you have 4 things that you could maybe spread out to over here.
Okay.
So if that makes sense. So you're really not going to have anything on this wall anymore, except for your artwork.
Okay.
So that the pathway over here clears the beds. Now, some of this is a creative process, so until you're doing it, you're not going to know, but I'm just judging from the clearance of this bed right now that you're going to have about that same amount of space, to walk by these beds.
Right.
Okay.
And then
all of the things on the top. What were you going to say, Maya?
Oh, sorry. I just was going to ask about the stuff, like the closet door. All that stuff comes off. Sorry.
So, all of the things that are on top of the dresser or that you might have on top of the bookcase, they should be limited to 3 items total, and you probably want to have a medium and a couple of larger things. So this would be like a medium size item. Anything smaller than this ends up kind of reading as clutter to people. So if you can keep maybe the flowers and this and maybe the little house here, and just have the surface be clean except for those 3 things. If you wanted to have a couple more, it's fine, but just generally speaking, clear off the tops of these areas. Remove the things from the doors, both the door into the room and the door on the closet. So you're probably going to be able to keep that chair, but it may not live there. You'll need to maybe play around with it once you get the beds moved, but it might work there too. So it is cute and might be a nice focal point to leave down there. So I think this room might be the one that you maybe spend a little more time in than some of the other rooms that I've seen, just so that for people that don't have kids, we're minimizing, you know, the kid essence of the room and opening it up to if they wanted it as a guest room or things like that. So trying to appeal to a lot of people. So that would basically be it. Tidy up the books if you can. Maybe sort them by size or by color so that it looks really organized. Because of course we're selling the dream of organization. And feel free to play around with this a little bit. I don't want to have you feel like it's every little thing is set in stone. Just pay attention to having, you know, a little bit of cuteness on the wall there. And once this leaf is gone, you may want to find something from another place in the house, or maybe you have something else where you could put one piece of art over here. Because this will become a blank wall.
What do you think about their names? Matan and Shiroska have their names.
Everything that's on the walls would be gone except for the 2
little
Hawaiian ones
okay.
would stay over the beds.
Okay.
I mean, the decals of the clouds and the stars can stay, but these can peel. I think they're peel off.
Okay.
So, and the bedspreads look great. They look cute. I love that they're matching. It's a really nice room, and I think that those things will open it up. Try to get a magic eraser if you don't have one, and scrub down any areas like around light switches, because I can see there's just some fingerprints there, and that way you wouldn't have to worry about repainting or anything. So let's move into this bedroom. And so this is the boy room, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So I feel like we could maybe try to make this room a little bit more officey. I know that your son sleeps here and it's his room, but if he's old enough to...
They're not opposed to that. They've
okay.
actually mentioned that already,
okay.
so just so you know.
They're open to moving that bed in there. I think would that be too crowded to have the 3 beds in one room?
Trifecta of beds is not probably the best
Triple
idea.
decker.
What I'm thinking we should do is leave this bed, but making it more like a day bed so that we put pillows across the back. And if you remove this bookcase or kind of like storage chest, then that will clear visually the way and make this a little bit less crowded. I mean, this is a walkway, so the only other option is to like have the desk and the bed both be kind of over here, and I think that that's probably going to get a little bit crowded. So I think if that bookcase is gone and you leave this centered in between the doors and put a couple pillows across the back of it, you could just get white pillowcases and 2 king pillows. You can just get them at Target. They're $9.99 for the pillows. That way it'll feel a little bit more officey with that. If it's possible to remove the other bookshelf with the books, the kids' books, I think that would be smart. So if you can take down all of the kid decals on the wall, on the door, and find a piece of art or maybe borrow one where you could have one larger piece of art over the bed so it's looking like a day bed, and then maybe 1 or 2 small things on this wall. This can stay here, the bookcase, maybe just take out the kids' books but leave the games. There's just kids' books on the top. But there are a lot of decals, hopefully, that are peel off underneath the window here.
Oh, okay.
So if those could just be removed.
She asked about those
and
too.
you could just, you know, whatever piece of art you choose for over the new daybed, try to have it be adult or a black and white or whatever it is that you want, but not not juvenile. And then as far as the desk goes, I don't think there's anything behind this mattress, but let me check. Okay, so it's just decals, but this is a pretty tidy desk, so I think that's great, but clear out all of the items that are underneath, and if you need to rent I don't know if you've heard of pods, but they're portable storage units, PODS, pods.com. You can rent small ones and that you can load everything in it and they will take it away for you and move it to your new location. So it's a pretty handy thing because I know space is limited here. So then I would probably just actually try to doll up the desk a little bit where you maybe have a book open, maybe a few, a couple of pencils or something to warm it up just a little bit. And maybe a few decorative items on the top here and removing these three so that you have the white ones at the left side and maybe a few decorative pieces here. That might be, a candle, a little plant, and a little vase or something. But then I think you're in pretty good shape for this room, and your son can still live in here. So that would be my main suggestions for here. Let's just talk about the master. Super cute room. There's one bookcase that looks like maybe you are in the middle of doing something with because it's at an interesting angle, or maybe you're just that creative and cool and I've never thought of putting a bookcase that way. But I would actually remove this and pack those books up so that you have good symmetry against the wall behind me. So you just have your nightstand, your bed, and your nightstand. It already looks great because you have an eclectic mix of bedding and you have the two matching lamps, and those are the main things that I would have suggested. So you're miles ahead in this room. Again, the photographer is going to stand from the doorway where Miley just was, kind of looking into the room. So the actual focal point of this room is right over there by your air conditioner. So we want to detract the eye from the air conditioner and get some piece of art that is up higher, hang it at eye level of the average height of a woman, which is about 5'4" or 5'5". So I'm going to just show you on the wall that you might want to get something that is, hypothetically an up and down type of size, like your New Yorker picture, if you want to hit that. Something similar to that. And put it right here. It looks like there was a nail hole, so maybe you have something up your sleeve. If I were to say one little improvement I think you could do for the bed, it would be to get 2 more king pillows at Target so that your pillows stretch all the way across the back of the bed and flexible as far as what type of, what color of pillowcase you get. But get king-size pillowcases. I actually like what you have here color-wise, but it's flexible. So that would, I think, just make it look just a little bit more pulled together on the bed. Then a little bit of the surfaces in here could probably be warmed up. So on the top of each of your dressers, I would put a few decorative items, and maybe on one of them you have 3, and on one of them you have 5 total items on each. So that could be plants, candles, books, little vases, little pictures of things, just something so that everything isn't as stark in here, especially because we already have white drapes and those are white little dressers. So that will warm it up and give it a little bit more of a homey feel, because there is sort of a balance between keeping things neutral and inviting for everybody and not having people get caught up in your stuff. So I'm not saying add a bunch of things on there, but definitely just to have it feel a little homier in this room would be good. On the book, on each nightstand, try to keep your lamps in the center and maybe put a couple tiny little things on each nightstand, like small books or a votive candle or a really small plant. you can leave your phone there, and then there's a little basket that I think if you tucked this underneath the bed, that would probably be better. Anyway, that would be the main things I think you should focus on in this room, but it's lovely, and I love the door to the outside. I think, you know, your floors look great, your bedding looks great, and it feels spacious, which is good for this room. Master bath. I would get a new shower curtain that has fabric for your master bath. The other bathroom is fine if you want to come to this side and see if you can still
not get too close to you.
Just keep your liner, but add something in front of it that would coordinate with the gray and the tones that you have in your bedding there. I would say you can use probably, a lot of times they say just get a white one, but for you, I think actually to get something that has a gentle pattern or something a little bit hip but not over the top would feel consistent with everything else that you have going on in the house. And then just try to keep your best towels out while you're showing the house, and these look great. Probably put away the, what's this thing called?
Face washer thing?
The face washer thing.
Scrubber?
I spent $1 million on one. I never use it. No wonder I don't remember the name of it. Anyway, just tuck that away, and the rest of that looks good. I think once you get a shower curtain in here, you know, that'll be closed most of the time for showing, so you don't have to worry a lot about your toiletries, but I would say just in case, you probably want to edit it down to having just a couple on each end and a few things in here, just because smaller houses, again, people are very sensitive to not having enough space. So anytime you can take a minute and pass through even your cupboard underneath, just to make sure that it's tidy, you can get, you know, more bins or more baskets, or pack up anything that you don't need while you're, you know, living here. Is helpful because you're selling the dream of organization. So, I think...
Are you okay with those plants on the toilet?
Yeah, I was going to say maybe you could just distribute one of these plants to somewhere else in the house and just keep the one, and maybe have a washcloth folded up on top of there with, if you have a seashell around or some kind of decorative item to put on top of, you know, the one folded up washcloth, just to warm up that area a little bit. That would be probably a good idea. But cute bathroom, definitely.
Okie dokie. So we go this way?
This
way? Okay.
We're going to go to the closet.
Oh, okay.
So
they're used to my bad videoing.
This is random, but I would move this picture up just a tiny bit, because when you walk in the room, you're standing from quite high above because it's sunken. So just up maybe 4 inches or so. And your closet looks pretty good. You're my role models right now for organization. I would say, if anything, maybe just remove some things. So if there's anything that you know that's winter that you're not going to use, or that you're going to donate, it's probably a good idea to get that out of here, because it is a tiny bit full. Other than that, keep with the feeling of everything being, you know, I think you have it like pants, shirts, which looks good. So just a couple minutes in there would probably be a good idea. We'll put the outside last.
Oh,
so let's go down to the other bathroom. Hey, Pete. Okay, so here's another the picture to go a little higher than the heating unit. With their eye. And do you want to go behind me, and then you can come in and get the shot?
I don't obviously do this for a living. Okay, sorry.
They're going to be all seasick. I know.
I told them already it doesn't come with drow mane, so.
Okay, so this bathroom looks really nice. Obviously, it's your kids' bathroom, but this would also be, for a future homeowner, their guest bath. So I feel like if we take it down just a little notch with the kid items, then that would probably be a smart idea for you. So a few of the things that I see would just be to remove the monkey nightshade and maybe to just have plain towels here instead of the monkey towels. So maybe using something in the green down here. We've got 2 of those. And having these things that hang right here be just for display while you're on the market. So even if you wanted to buy a couple new towels at Target, this is me taking this water. Thanks, Pete.
You want it or want it?
I'll keep it.
Well, I can't right now. The ladies in the bathroom.
You could even do, something that had a gentle pattern as long as it didn't compete with this. So stripes might work. Or you can just stick with the solid. But if you're at Target anyway for your pillows, get a couple of new bath towels and 2 hand towels to go over them. And that, I think, would kind of elevate the bathroom. And then same thing would apply as far as the toiletries. You can have a few things out, that's fine. I don't really think you need the plant in this bathroom, so you can distribute that somewhere else. Okay. It's kind of tucked back there. And then we got to find a spot probably for the tub toys, if possible. Or get some kind of another storage box that's maybe not see-through that you can put them in that has a lid so that you can still keep them there, but maybe it's just not as visible. So you may want to measure the depth of that little ledge before you go shopping and see what you can find that's about that width. Looks good in here. That's
Okay.
all right.
There's a close-up of Lisa's
Hello.
head.
And let's go through this entry
Okay.
to the kitchen. All right. Okay, so taking the sticker calendars off the wall, maybe hang up a few little decorative things in here if you could. I don't know what this bin is for, if it has to be here, but I would say ideally it would be better if it was not here, because this is a very tight walkway. So tight that I'm actually concerned about you having your desk here. I'm wondering if you need to have the computer printer set up, if there's anything else that you have that would be a little bit less long than this, that you could still set those things on top of, because the natural walkway into these rooms is like this, which is blocked by your desk. So this is going to make people feel like, oh, this house isn't big enough. So if you can find something else to set it on, that would be great. Otherwise, if you could relocate the computer and printer to the other desk, that would be great. I don't, you can have something under here. It just shouldn't be this long. It really needs to be, if you come to here behind me.
Okay.
It really needs to be somewhere around like this, wide perhaps, so that it doesn't have this corner here. Okay? Yes.
If it's, we're not going to sell this as a 4th bedroom, but we're going to kind of see a little office space nook.
Right.
Is there room to move the washer and dryer?
Yeah, there is.
Does that get too tight?
There's room. There's about this much room. If we move that down and move this down, it would take that corner away.
Okay, let me see that.
We have rooms in there.
But it's
I don't
always
know
a
if that's in
trade-off,
the-
because it cramps this out.
Right.
Because really there should be something kind of centered under the cabinetry, is that right? Just that's less wide than that.
Yeah, I mean, this all just
Ideally.
kind of comes down to timing. You're
Right.
not going to, maybe be able to get this done right away, but maybe within next week. Yes, we have a few inches to move the washer dryer, but it's not enough.
It's not enough.
We really need a good, 7, 8 inches almost.
So that because this could.
Yeah, but it's not,
But you want it to go
way back, because we got to have this whole thing not be.
Actually, what you just did was perfect. It should actually be maybe on a triangle, so it creates more space in a small.
Yeah, if there was any kind of. But again, this is all just how much do you have time for.
Right.
But if you have something else, I don't know if we talked about anything that got removed that maybe we could substitute in there. We'll come back to that thought. All right, so kitchen. Love your kitchen. Really unique choices. It looks nice. When you're getting ready to do pictures or when you have listings, find a home for your drying cart, and probably want to go down to Target and get maybe a couple of little towels that have not been used, that you could hang one over the oven, and maybe that you would have one on top of the countertop, because this room is also just needs a little bit of warming up. And I would probably say if you have a glass bowl, that would be helpful to substitute for this one, so that we can see through it, and maybe you would put some lemons or some oranges in that for a little bit of color in this area. And maybe one orchid or a plant that would be somewhere in this area. I think an orchid would be better, and if you could just try to get something a little more generous size, not too petite. Trader Joe's has them for fairly inexpensive, so that we got a little bit of height and greenery in over here. That would be nice. And maybe just one watermelon. I know, it's probably just, you'll be eating that, but I think this whole area actually looks, I'm sorry, Miley, really good.
I'm going to come this way.
This looks really good down here. It's nice to have things grouped. So maybe if this just, for example, wasn't there. Sorry, I'm moving your things and you're not here.
Yeah, I just finished.
And take these maybe just a little bit at an angle. And then water pitcher, I would say put away, or tea kettle thing. So,
Oh, babies, okay.
Moran's old car.
this side I feel looks pretty good. Maybe thin out the number of items that you have in here. All your spices look fine. Maybe one or two you could put away. But overall, I feel like your kitchen it's fine. It's completely clean. I would not have this little rug in front of your sink. It's okay to have a rug, but I would upgrade it to something that has definitely that's a kitchen official rug, that has the rubbery bottom, because you have groups of people in here and you definitely don't want anyone slipping, and I feel like it could be a little bit bigger. So measure this maybe before you go to the store and get something a little bit longer. Ross is also a great place where, I keep mentioning Target, but Ross has a lot of the things